So John Cena effectively did what Eminem did in the music industry, okay? He was able to come in, market to that audience, right? White middle America that loved hip-hop, that loved Eminem, etc., but necessarily wouldn't accept that from black artists. And he was able to, boom, get captivated. But the problem with that is that John Cena attracted a lot of younger fans.
Children.
Right? Children. So I hate to say it, yeah. Like, a lot of kids ended up being his fans. And what ended up happening was, since the target demographic of audience became younger, guess what that prompted, guys? The PG era. And we went from the Attitude Era of 1997 to about 2001, 2002, 2003-ish into the PG era. And I will always blame John Cena for being the reason why the WWE went into the PG era, because though he was able to explode in popularity coming in on the Thugonomics bullshit, right, and capping off, and also keep in mind, guys, black culture was very popular back then. Baggy clothes, hip-hop music, chains, throwback jerseys, Michelin Nets, Jordans.
Although PG era started around late 2008, 2009.
Bro,
though.
It started way before that.
No, because it was that's when they was able to get the advertisements, and it was 2008, 2009. 2002 or 2003 was the start of the Ruthless Aggression era. That's when John Cena came in. That's what brought Brock Lesnar, Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, and which, like I said, that's actually my. Oh man, that should have been a topic.
I would say John Cena absolutely ushered in the PG era, though, by bringing. Though it worked because he brought in a young, enthusiastic fan base. That same fan base came with the caveat of we have to water down the content now, and also WWE being publicly traded also changed it. But again, I look at John Cena as a double-edged sword that both hurt and helped the WWE. But yeah, I don't think that's why I dislike him, because it just corny. The frame he came in was corny. You can't see me. Like, that whole thing was trash. And you want to know? Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, y'all want to know why? One of the best examples of why John Cena is trash? When he had his beef with The Rock, right? When The Rock came back and he had his beef with The Rock and they did that promo, The Rock absolutely embarrassed him in charisma and ring presence and everything. And the guy wasn't even wrestling anymore. Like, that's when it like hit me like, yo, an Attitude Era wrestler comes in, hasn't even been in the game, hasn't been pushed like that, and absolutely embarrasses John Cena in all the promo. Remember when he was making fun of him? You can't see me. You can't see me.
Called him a fruity pebbles, and actually, the cereal box Fruity Pebbles ended up flying off the shelves because of The Rock.
Yeah, like, bro, like he was not even like in the WWE like that, and he came in and embarrassed him, and that's when it hit me like, yo, like a lot of these guys that are like top tier, Batista, John Cena, etc. Those guys were barely wrestling at a B or C class level when Stone Cold and The Undertaker and The Rock and Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit, all these guys, like guys like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, etc. For some of you that don't know, they were like lower level wrestlers during the Attitude Era. Like, they were the top of the WCW, you know, with the Four Horsemen, etc. Then they come over to WWE. They're over here wrestling for like the European champion and shit. That just to give you guys perspective of like, when you compare Attitude Era wrestlers with like some of these guys that they push later on, they don't even come close. That's why, in my mind, no one will ever come close to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ever. Right? And The Rock is like a close second. Even Hulk Hogan. People want to talk about Hulk Hogan, blah, blah, blah. Like, Hulk Hogan, though he was cool or whatever, he was in an era when the wrestlers were boring. Dun, 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 dun. You know? Yeah, like, and that song is lit. Hold on. It's the most American song ever. But
I liked Golden Era.
I mean, bro, come on, man.
I mean, yes, it was ABC, but still.
Come on, man. Not even close. Like, the wrestling in the 80s is not even close to wrestling in the 90s, man.
I'm still giving it, although, I'm still going to say Ruthless Aggression Era is still going to be my favorite era because it's the deepest roster between Attitude Era and newer era. I know. I'm
still
at the top
of the Ruthless Aggression Era were barely European champions. Them niggas were struggling to get intercontinental championships when Stone Cold and The Rock and all these guys were taking over.
A lot of them, I say, were still.
Booker T was doing better than a lot of these top wrestlers.
There was still a lot more A and B leveled wrestlers in the ruthless aggression era than in the attitude era. To finally get to a C level talent, it took a long time in the ruthless aggression era because how deep it was and how many people were still either at their peak or near their peak at that time.
Bro, you like Roman Reigns?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I acknowledge the tribal chief. Thank you very much. You better believe that.
His finisher is so trash.
Is it spear?
What does the nigga do?
A spear.
I punched you. Yeah, sit out there, Captain Falcon. This shit whack, man.
Nah, it is whack. I agree.
It's actually from, that's one of the best families in the wrestling industry today. Hell yeah, one of the best families.
Well, either way, I know my take right there is controversial on John Cena, but that's why I dislike John Cena. He basically took the Eminem effect and applied it to WWE, but in the process of doing so, he hurt the brand in general. And he ended up bringing in a demographic of viewers that were not necessarily suitable for the company and the brand, and they had to continue to have that audience. They had to water down their content, and bam, next thing you know, we got the PG era, right, where they significantly watered down. I mean, bro, I remember in the Attitude Era, late 90s, 2000s, dudes were throwing chicks through tables, flaming ladders. Yo, they were doing crazy stuff, bro. Like, the promos were wild. They were out here like Stunner and Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
You know, Mae Young getting thrown off the ring.
And getting pregnant by Mark Henry.
Yeah, bro, wild stuff that would never fly today, bro. That would never fly. D-Generation X, like, come on. Come on. You trying to compare the ruthless aggression era, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, like a guy like Brock Lesnar, just to put things in perspective for y'all. Brock Lesnar's one of the top wrestlers now. Bro, in like 01, 02, he was like a C card wrestler.
No. He was an instant.
And they pushed him like crazy.
Bro, he was an instant top competitor, like right away.
Yeah, first.
Like within the first couple of months, he ended up becoming champion. Actually,
but they pushed him like crazy.
Yeah,
I pushed him like crazy. That's a big reason why people don't respect Roman Reigns like that, because they push Roman Reigns too. They shoved him down the audience's throat. Pause.
Ow.
You know, so. Anyway,
which actually I was actually one of the early believers of Roman Reigns, especially since the Shield days. I actually knew since when he was NXT, well, FCW.
See, some of the guys in the chat don't even know. They're talking about Brock Lesnar fought in the UFC. Yo, you fucking morons! He was in the WWE first. Then he went to the UFC. Then he came back. Some of you young niggas don't even know this.
Yep.
Come on, man. I haven't watched wrestling in damn near 10 plus years, and I know this, guys. Brock Lesnar started off in the WWE first. Yes, he was a wrestler, like he had wrestling background, whatever, but he was in the WWE first. He left for a period of years. He went to the UFC. Then he came back to the WWE. Like, yo, y'all are unaware as hell, man. Like, I could tell the people's ages in the chat just off of the things they're saying. No, that Cena's great. You can't see me. Like, bro, you guys don't even know that John Cena came into the game like as a C card wrestler in like 01, 02. I think his like first match officially was against Kurt Angle.
Yep, it was on SmackDown
against Kurt Angle.
Yep.